Straight ahead on Newswatch 12 at 6, an insect infestation is damaging landscape in Price County. We'll tell you how this is affecting the city of Park Falls. Plus, lawsuits are taking aim at Wisconsin's absentee ballot laws. We'll tell you what two groups are hoping to accomplish. And flu season is coming up, and it may be worse than previous years. We'll have the details as your local news starts right now.
Your local news and weather from where you live. Newswatch 12 at 6 starts now.
Welcome to Newswatch 12 at 6. I'm Jessica Jukic. A green lawn is a point of pride for many folks around the Northwoods. NOLA Cemetery in Park Falls has lost nearly 10 acres of lawn to a bug infestation. City Administrator Brent Mahalik says the previously green grass is now a carpet of brown.
This year we got hit with a pretty big infestation of grubs. They're the May and June beetles, the larval stage of the May and June beetles.
These beetles specifically target the small roots of grass in drier locations such as the cemetery. Mahalik says the roots are gone, the grass crisped up and quickly turned. To help solve the sudden issue, several samples were sent to UW-Madison to help identify the cause and find potential solutions.
We did send a sample of the grubs off to an entomologist in Madison. He identified the correct species of grubs that we're trying to treat for. And so there's a specific chemical treatment that we have to use on the grubs. They're very hardy.
Moving forward, the city will apply recommended pesticides. For the time being, a more hardy grass and clover combination is being planted. This will help return the resting place for so many into the beautiful landscape. A warm and sunny weekend is in the forecast. Meteorologist Conrad Sapinski has the latest. Conrad?
Yeah, Jessica, get ready. Warmer temperatures have arrived all across most of the United States. Look at these 80s, even a couple of 90s in South Dakota. Same thing in Nebraska, but lots of warm weather in Minnesota, Wisconsin, same thing in Illinois. So everyone's in on those warmer temperatures. Now, let's take a look at closer depth into Wisconsin. Temperatures around 63 degrees in Rhineland right now, a little bit warmer in Eagle River. Same thing in Land O'Lakes. Green Bay, look at that, close to 70 degrees. So enjoy those warm temperatures. It's almost the weekend and a perfect timing for all of these really nice and warm temperatures. Right now, mostly sunny skies across the state, but taking a look just to the west, there is some cloud cover, couple of green shown up here indicating showers. Most of this, as it pushes east, it will continue to dry out. We do have some really dry dew points inside in the 30s and 40s, so it's very dry across the state. So all of that rain is nothing to worry about. All of that will actually continue to dry out. Temperatures tonight, though, near average and hovering in those upper 30s. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. Two lawsuits are targeting Wisconsin's policy on absentee ballots. The lawsuits were filed in Dane County and argue Wisconsin election clerks should be allowed to accept absentee ballots with missing portions of witness addresses. The lawsuits were filed by Rise Inc., which encourages students to vote, and the League of Women Voters of Wisconsin. Last year, the Legislative Audit Bureau reviewed nearly 15,000 absentee ballot envelopes in 2020. They found 1,022 ballots were missing parts of witness addresses, and only 15 ballots had no witness addresses. Auditors found clerks corrected addresses on 66 envelopes. The legal battle will not be resolved before November. We're now entering flu season. Experts are saying that this season may be worse than previous years. Newswatch 12's Mohammed Abdulkawi joins us in studio to tell us more. Mohammed?
Jessica, fall is here, which means many people are going to start scheduling appointments to receive their flu shot. The CDC recommends that people should get a flu vaccine by the end of October for the best protection. Zachary Miller, a health expert, says that while anybody could get the flu, there are some people that are more at risk than others.
I mean, anyone's likely to be at risk to at least get the flu, but then the elderly and kids are kind of most likely to be severely impacted by getting influenza.
Having a sore throat, fever, and coughing are all signs of the flu. Although these are all signs of the flu, COVID-19 shares many of the same symptoms. Getting tested is the easiest way to determine the difference between the two.
Since we've had those two record low years, it's likely it could be a big year this year with the influenza. So it's like, let's definitely, wash our hands and get our flu shot this year. I can't emphasize it enough.
Miller says it's completely safe to get the new COVID booster as well as the flu shot at the same time. Staying home when you're sick and having a healthy diet are some ways you can prevent yourself from getting sick. Jessica?
Thanks, Mohammed. A violent attack was caught on camera. A Wisconsin mother says her ex-boyfriend shot her more than a dozen times. She believes she's alive now because her young children stepped in to stop their father. Months after the shooting, the mom says she's ready to share her story in hopes it can save someone else's life. Amber Porterfield has more, but first we want to warn you the story contains graphic video and may be hard to watch.
Nikeia Shoemake watches surveillance video of the day her boyfriend chased her down and shot her 14 times on July 23rd. But it was when she saw her children trying to stop their dad from killing her that she broke down. Tears falling and leg shaking uncontrollably, we asked if she wanted to stop the interview. She said no.
I would like for the whole video to be played so people can understand from my point of view and from my kids' point of view.
Askia Strong keeps shooting while she's on the ground, turns to run away, then comes back and shoots several more times to finish the job.
He just kept shooting, then I just fell to the ground. I just laid there and just lay him, kept shooting until he was done.
Numb and bleeding, she lays on the ground while he runs off down the alley.
My oldest, she's screaming out of anger. She just wanted to stop.
And after being shot in the head, stomach, arms, and legs at close range, Nikeia Shoemake gets up.
But what made you get back up?
When I opened my eyes and I see my baby. My eyes was able to focus, so I just got up like this a little bit, and then I was like, oh, I could stand up. And then I just stood up all the way, and I grabbed my babies, and we went. I think the lady, she was just sitting there watching. So I went to her car, and I opened the door, and I pushed her laundry over, and I was like, can you please just take me?
Nikeia says the two had been dating for 17 years, since they were 15 years old. He was in and out of jail, and their kids, ages 12, 5, and 2, have witnessed him abuse her for the last several years. She broke up with him a few days before this happened. After fleeing down the alley near South 24th and West Lapham, 32-year-old Askia Strong is still on the run, wanted for attempted homicide. Milwaukee police believe Strong is hiding with friends and family in either Wisconsin, Illinois, or Indiana.
What do you want to say to people who see this?
Just turn them in.
Are you a hero?
Yes, I'm a hero. I know I'm a hero. I feel that I'm a hero. The moment I get up off that ground, I was a hero. It was victory for me from that point on.
There are a lot of big high school football games coming up tonight. We'll give you a preview of tonight's Friday Night Blitz. That's after Weather with Conrad right here on Newswatch 12.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's Fall Scratch-Off event is ending soon. Shop in-store discounts up to 20% off furniture sale prices. Plus, get an extra 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Or buy a Tempur-Pedic mattress for as little as $1 a day at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
There's case after case. Women working for Tim Michaels' construction company saying they were groped, sexually assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. When they resisted, they say they were threatened, called a liar, and forced to resign. And when co-workers spoke up, they were fired. If this is how Tim Michaels runs his business, how do you think he'd run the state? Tim Michaels' radical agenda is so very, very wrong.
There are so many things we take for granted, and along with them, sometimes we take the people who depend on them for granted too. How can they survive with record increases in their basic cost of living? And through no fault of their own, they're being left behind. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Keeping your family close together in your home these days are important. Let us remodel your kitchen and bath. Kitchen Bath Mart specializes in complete remodels for the past 35 years. From design to install, we'll take good care of you. Stop in or call us today at Kitchen Bath Mart. We're your #1 choice in kitchen and bath remodeling. Highway 70 East in Arborvitae.
The kitchen remodel project was a major project. After checking around, we went to Featherstone, and we were so glad we did. There was electrical work, plumbing, enlarging a doorway, and of course, all the cabinets, countertops, and fixtures. The minute I walked in the door at Featherstone, I knew I was in the right place. Featherstone coordinated every aspect of the project, the whole thing. They made it easy. And I can't say enough about how much we appreciated the personal attention Featherstone gave us.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's fall scratch-off event is ending soon. Shop in-store discounts up to 20% off furniture sale prices. Plus, get an extra 55% off select Beauty Rest mattresses. Or buy a Tempur-Pedic mattress for as little as $1 a day at Furniture and Appliance Mart.
Happy Friday and welcome back. Take a look behind me. It's looking beautiful. Temperatures are higher, up well above average. Lots of clear skies. Temperatures around 63 degrees in Rhinelander. Very calm winds, so it's feeling comfortable outside. A little bit warmer in Wausau, 64, with a little bit more of a breezy wind out of the southeast at 5 miles an hour. So our average high this time of year is supposed to be closer to 63 degrees, with an average low finally making it into those 30s. So 39 as an average low this time of year. So we're actually going to be above that the next week. Today, same thing. We had some above average temperatures. Even right now, past 6 p.m., we still have some 60s, a couple of 70s down south. Green Bay, Eau Claire coming in at 68 degrees. So enjoy the weather. Lots of warm temperatures across America. Behind me, showing this cooler weather in the East Coast, but then most of the country, the South, the Midwest, Upper Midwest, even all the way to Canada, there's some 60s up there. So it is looking really nice, and it will be staying warm the next several days. Our temperature trend does reflect that. The weekend, beautiful. Lots of nice temperatures. Really warm weather with lots of sunshine, including Saturday, where temperatures will be a little bit cooler, but still above average. 67 on Monday. Look at Tuesday and Wednesday. But what happens on Thursday? Yes, that's a cold front coming in Wednesday night into Thursday, and then we're going to be on the cooler end. So enjoy these warmer temperatures the next 5 days, because after that cold front comes, we'll be well below average. High temperatures only in the 40s. So we'll definitely need to bring out those sweaters and jackets next week. Now, different story. Lots of sunshine across the area. A couple of thicker clouds actually in the western part of the state, mostly in Minnesota. That's associated with this system right here. Most of this is very light. As it continues to push east, it will actually dissipate. We have lots of dry air in the area, so that is nothing for us to worry about. Now let's talk about Hurricane Ian. Destructive hurricane in Florida. It hit Wednesday at Cayo Costa, close to Fort Myers, 150-mile-per-hour hurricane, and the storm surge was incredible. Look at this shot. This is after Hurricane Ian left. Total devastation. People cannot even get to their homes. That's how flooded everything is and destroyed. You could see the roads right here. It is all flooded. Miles and miles, not even right by the coast, but just all across. Florida is very leveled out. There's not many hills like in Wisconsin, so it's a lot easier for Florida to start flooding. So now it made another landfall in South Carolina, closer to Georgetown. So that is just 60 miles away from Charleston. So definitely keep an eye on that, because right now it is still brewing. It has become a post-tropical system, but still something to keep an eye on. Tonight in Wisconsin, though, temperatures will be close to average in those upper 30s with mostly clear skies. And our 7-day outlook, brought to you by Northwoods Furniture and Mattress, does show more rain chances Tuesday into Wednesday. Jessica?
Thank you, Conrad. It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's time for some high school football in Wisconsin. Saul Myers in Abbotsford right now for one of our featured games. Saul?
That's right, Jessica. I'm here in Old Abbey for Abbotsford and Auburndale's matchup, one of our featured matchups for the Friday Night Blitz this week, and it is sure to be an entertaining one. Auburndale has been dominant this year. They've outscored their opponents 288-30 in just 6 games this year. Abbotsford, on the other hand, is in kind of a slump. They started 4-0 and have been winless since then, so they're going to go into this game with a huge chip on their shoulder. But that's not our only featured matchup for this week. Serenity Douglas is in Minocqua. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that game?
Yep, so you are right. Let's get into it. I am here at Lakeland Union High School for the game of the week versus Ashland. Now, Lakeland Union was 0-4 this season. However, they have been on a 2-game win streak. I had the pleasure of speaking with the head coach of Lakeland Union football earlier this week, Dan Barutha.
Ashland has a power running game. They're running out of the wishbone. They also have a vertical passing game where they'll throw it to the outside. And then defensively, they play some really good defense. They're attacking downhill defense in their 52 look.
Although Coach Dan is no stranger to Ashland's power running game, he has faith in his team because they've been working on some specifics.
Having a player-led team is really critical in our program, and making sure that our guys understand that every minute of every practice. You know, we lead things as coaches to put our guys in the best position possible, but at the same time, we want our guys to be able to step up, take ownership.
Let's see if the team can step up and take ownership to secure a win today. Reporting live here in Minocqua, I'm Serenity Douglas, Newswatch 12.
Thank you, Serenity. A Wisconsin woman works around the clock to keep her town safe. We'll explain how she manages the entire police department in Coleman.
Violent crime up across Wisconsin. Families nervous about their safety. Yet Mandela Barnes called for releasing half of Wisconsin's jailed inmates. That would mean releasing over 10,000 criminals right into our neighborhoods. 10,000 reasons your family would be in more danger. Barnes also supported defunding the police. 10,000 more criminals with fewer police to protect us. What could go wrong? Wisconsin Truth Bank is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Save on your next appliance upgrade with 11% off everything at Menards. Upgrade your home with top appliance brands including KitchenAid, Maytag, Whirlpool, Amana, and Criterion. All appliances are now 11% off. Enjoy softer skin and cleaner clothes with Morton's Demand Control Wi-Fi Water Softener. Integrated Wi-Fi capabilities allow you to monitor your salt and water levels anywhere, straight from your smartphone. Get 11% off all Morton products now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Huge auction, Hazelhurst, Wisconsin. Tools, guns, antiques, New Holland skid steer, trailers, home contents, and more. Contact Brass at St. Louis Auctions for more details.
On crime, Tony Evers broke his promise. Evers released hundreds of violent criminals from prison. Murderers, child rapists, back on our streets. Evers broke his promise. Now we're less safe than ever.
Tim Michels took an oath to protect America, and that's what he'll do as governor. Michels will put more police on the street, fire weak prosecutors, and keep criminals behind bars. Strength and leadership. Tim Michels for governor.
Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Bone and Joint Walk-In Care.
A woman in Marinette County, Wisconsin runs her town's entire police department on her own. Meet Chief Ida Seletsky. She works tirelessly to keep the small town of Coleman safe. She's been chief of police since 1997.
As with any community, we have our drug issues. We have our sex crimes. We have all the crimes that you have anywhere else. It's just not as many of them.
In order to stop these crimes, that means early mornings and long nights, and her work doesn't stop there. Chief Seletsky also works as a volunteer for the Coleman Rescue Squad, too. She averages about 100 hours a week between both jobs. We'll have one final look at the forecast after the break, but here's a look at this week's Big Old Fish.
Newswatch 12's Big Old Fish is brought to you by Kurt's Island Sports Shop in Minocqua.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
All right, I got a question for y'all. What did one body of water say to the other? Well, nothing actually. They just waved. All right. I'll get on with this week's edition of Big Old Fish, and we start off this week with Blake Big John. Pictured here with this gorgeous northern. Now, it says that this is his first big fish with a bait that his auntie got him at the thrift store. Well, I'll tell you what. That was a good purchase, and that is one big old fish. Way to go, Blake. Keep on reeling them in. Next up on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Levi Jacobson from Wayne, Illinois. Well, Levi caught his first ever muskie while trolling from his grandpa's pontoon boat on Post Lake. Well, there are very few fish bigger than your first muskie, so I gotta say it. That is one big old fish, Levi. Way to go. Keep on reeling them in. And finally on this week's Big Old Fish, we have Ethan Mance. Now, Ethan caught this 27-inch northern on the Manitowish chain, and it goes on to say, one thing of note, that it was his first catch using a jig and minnow. Well, that is a lot of fun to catch a northern on a jig and minnow, and that is one big old fish. Way to go, Ethan. Keep on reeling them in.
All right, fishermen and women, make sure to keep those trophy pictures coming. All the information you need to be in a future episode of Big Old Fish and win a Norling taxidermy fish meal is on our website, WJFW.com. And remember, anglers, fish on.
I worked in law enforcement for more than 30 years. I know what it takes to keep our community safe. Mandela Barnes stands with Defund the Police and supports no cash bail that releases dangerous criminals back into our communities. Barnes supports sanctuary cities and spending millions of taxpayer dollars on illegal immigrants. Take it from me, the bad guys belong in jail, and Mandela Barnes belongs nowhere near the Senate.
Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The light at the end of the tunnel isn't shining so brightly for everyone. Families continue to fight for survival. Some jobs are gone forever. Bills pile up. But please know, you have not been forgotten. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
See the exceptional selection of jewelry at Golden Carat Jewelers. Artistic handmade jewelry by Michu and Belle Latour. Fashion-forward designs by Mira T. and Frederick Sage. The latest trends and the forever classics from Facet Barcelona, Catan, and more. Your full-service jewelry store in downtown Minocqua, Golden Carat Jewelers has a surprise for everyone.
Northland Basement Systems is the all things basementy company. Basement waterproofing, basement finishing, basement structural repair, humidity and mold control, and nasty crawl spaces too. When it comes to basement solutions, nobody does it better than we do. Since 1991, homeowners just like you in the Northland have trusted Northland Basement Systems for all things basementy in their homes. Call Northland Basement Systems today to schedule a free home evaluation.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets. Because I know how hard you work. But Johnson used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Beautiful home near Minocqua features 3-bedroom attached garage, blacktop drive, all nestled on 8 acres. Being sold regardless of price. Contact Brass at St. Louis Auctions for more details.
It's Friday, almost the weekend. Mostly sunny skies outside right now all across the state, and we will be continuing to have just a few passing clouds overnight. Look at these temperatures though, 60s, almost 70s in some locations, so really warm weather has finally made it into our state. We had some 20s not that long ago, but look what happens over the weekend. Close to 70 degrees by Saturday, right in time for our Cranberry Fest, so if you do have plans for that, I would recommend it.
Definitely a good weekend to be outside.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Conrad. That's all the time we have. We'll see you back here at 10.
Mr. Food Test Kitchen is brought to you by Golden Carrot Jewelers and Creative Kitchen and Bath Studio.
Today, I thought I'd spotlight one of my favorite cheeses. It's one that many love and some aren't that familiar with. I'm talking about blue cheese. So let me show you how you can dress it up, so to speak, so you can serve it with just about anything. We start by crumbling some blue cheese into a shallow bowl. The key is to make sure you buy a drier variety, which tends to break up easily rather than clumping. Or you can start with the pre-crumbled kind, which is often less expensive. We top this with some chopped red onion, which adds crunch, and parsley for some extra freshness. Now, we combine some olive oil, a bit of red wine vinegar, minced garlic, and a little black pepper. Once it's whisked together, we drizzle this over our crumbled blue cheese before popping it in the fridge. And as for ways to serve this, well, let's just say almost anything goes. It's perfect to smear on slices of French bread for an easy appetizer, or as a topper on everything from salads to burgers. You see, the combo of the cheese and the tangy vinaigrette adds a wow factor to anything it goes over. To get this simple as can be recipe for blue cheese topper, just head over to our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tasty and versatile way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
The radical left hate America and riot in our streets. They indoctrinate our children to hate America, stoking fear and envy with their lies and deceptions. Their radical woke agenda and divisive politics are tearing our country apart. Here's Mandela Barnes.
The founding of this nation, awful.
Mandela Barnes is a radical leftist. He supports their woke agenda that's causing you and your family so much pain.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Goodwill starts with you when you shop the original Halloween headquarters. This season, as you get ready to open your door to mummies, princesses, and never-before-seen characters, shop Goodwill for great deals on one-of-a-kind Halloween costumes, decor, and more. Perfect for any ghoulish gathering. It's your purchases that also open doors to job training and opportunities, all while keeping items out of the landfill, making you a superhero to neighbors in our community. Goodwill starts with you.
Tonight's lineup on Newswatch 12 is brought to you by Furniture and Appliance Mart. Looking for the best selection of furniture and appliances at the lowest prices, guaranteed? Come to Furniture and Appliance Mart. You're going to love it here.
Carl Beletsky brutally shot and decapitated his wife with a large kitchen knife. Mark Ketterhagen shot and killed a young teenage girl and tossed her body in the Fox River.
These are just some of the convicted criminals freed early by Governor Tony Evers' parole commission, 884 in all, including 270 murderers and attempted murderers, 44 child rapists.
Terrence Shaw randomly raped and murdered a mother in her home.
Tony Evers promised voters, quote, "We will not release violent criminals." He lied.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
If you find yourself